Welcome to rSlash Am I the Butthole, where OP's mother is 6 years older than he is. Am I the butthole for making my dad's fiancé cry? So my father, who's 54, and his fiancée, who's 30, have been together for about 6 years now. When they first got together, I, a 17-year-old male at the time, was still living at home. She moved in about a month into their relationship, and I didn't have a problem with her at first until she tried to actually mother me. Hold on, what's the math on this? 6 years, so she would have been 24 and OP was 17. Okay. I'm not talking about giving advice or being a supportive role model. More like giving me a 9 o'clock curfew. I live in a rural town, so that's a joke. And she told me to clean up her dog's mess after it had an accident. Every time I would bring this up to my dad, he'd say, "Just try, for me." Needless to say, I moved out soon after. Fast forward to a week ago. Out of nowhere, my dad invites me over for dinner because we haven't spoken in quite some time. I hesitantly accept and spend the following few days trying to prepare myself for what they're gonna say. I show up that night, bottle of wine in hand, anxious out of my mind. The night goes on for a few hours with us exchanging small talk until I can't take it anymore and ask why they invited me. My dad said that they were getting married and he wanted me to be his best man. I'm not gonna lie, I laughed hard. This turned into the fiancé crying because she thinks that I don't like her, and I told her she's correct. It should be said that given the option between me or his fiancé, my dad would choose her in a heartbeat. For example, I went on a 2-day camping trip. I always parked my car in the garage, but when I left, she took over that spot and kept it until I moved out. So your dad estranged you, then didn't talk to you, and now he expects you to just turn around and be your buddy for the wedding photos? Yeah, whatever, man. I'm on your side, OP. You get 0 out of 5 buttholes. I'm giving your dad and his fiancé, I don't know, I guess 2 out of 5 buttholes? I'm giving your fiancé, I guess 2.5 out of 5 buttholes feels fair. Though the idea of a 24-year-old woman trying to mother a 17-year-old boy just sounds ridiculous. That sounds more like the plot to a Hub video, if you get my drift. Am I the butthole for not wanting to play a game that my girlfriend created? I'm a 27-year-old guy, and my girlfriend, who's 24, has been working on a visual novel game as a side project for almost 2 years, and recently finished it. She wanted me to play it, but I initially declined since I'm not into visual novels or reading long stories. But after she begged, I gave it a try and played for a good 15 minutes. Now, I can tell that she put in a lot of effort in the writing and the art, and it was a good start, but I just got tired of reading and stopped. She asked me what I thought and wanted me to eventually finish it and tell her what I thought about the choices and the endings, but I told her I had no plans to. She looked shocked and asked me if it was boring. I told her, no, it's just that I'm not into this type of game, and she knows that I'm not into reading, but she asked me to make an exception this time since she made it. I got upset because I think she's being childish and wants to blackmail me into doing something I don't want. After I made it clear that I wasn't continuing, she hasn't talked to me. I already know that she's talented and smart, so just because I don't want to play it doesn't mean I don't support her. Some of my friends agree that she's being immature, but others think that I should be more supportive, so am I the butthole? Guys, you know what's so ironic about this post? This guy expects us to read this. I had to sit here and read this stupid r/am I the butthole post, but he's like, but I don't want to read something my girlfriend created, but I'm going to post on Reddit and expect everyone on the internet to tell me that I'm right, because I need them to read my post and agree with me. Oh my god, what a douchebag, OP! This top post. You're the butthole. I just read the rubbish that you wrote, and I'm not your significant other. Right? I can't believe we had to sit through this. Man, the girl put 2 years of her life into this project, and you can't give her, 2 hours of your time? Man, what a selfish douchebag. Jeez. OP, I'm giving you, what's fair here? I guess 2 out of 5 buttholes? You're just really selfish. I'm giving your girlfriend 0 out of 5 buttholes. I hope she dumps you and then makes a graphic novel about it. Am I the butthole for having my daughter take her sister's test? I have 2 daughters in high school. Sam is an A student, and Emma is a B and C student. Sam has basically been making fun of Emma for her lower grades. We punish Sam when it happens, but she goes back to it every time. Now, the difference between the two girls is that Sam takes general classes while Emma takes college classes. For example, Sam takes biology as her science class, and Emma takes college physics too, so they're very different. Summer's here and the final grades came in. Sam got all A's, and when she saw that she did better than her sister, she started the "I'm smarter" comments again. I had enough at this point. I grabbed one of Emma's old tests. It was a geometry test since Sam took geometry this year, and I sat Emma down and told her to do Sam's test. Long story short, Emma was in tears, and then I explained again how grades don't measure how smart you are. That she has much easier classes compared to Emma, and I think it finally got through to her. I told my wife about what happened, and she was pissed. About how could I do that to Sam? My wife took Sam out to get ice cream to make up for it, while me and Emma are still at home. Yo, OP, Sam needs a reality check, and you gave it to her. What you did wasn't mean or cruel, it was just offering her perspective. OP, I'm giving you 0 out of 5 buttholes. I'm giving Sam 1.5 out of 5 buttholes. Am I the butthole for telling my girlfriend that her home decor is the reason that I won't host a work gathering at her place? I'm a 32-year-old man, and I've been with my girlfriend, who's 29, for over a year now. She's smart, funny, a bit quirky, and has a serious job with a good salary. We have a great time together and generally get along very well. The only problem is that her choice in home decor is bizarre, to put it frankly, and not something that you think a normal grown adult would be into. Her apartment is definitely a reflection of herself and her interests, not in the best way though. My girlfriend has a wall dedicated to animation in one room of her apartment, like Futurama pieces and etchings of some weird triangle guy. Then there's the wall of framed, preserved insects in another room. But not insects like butterflies or moths. Instead, she displays tarantulas, beetles, and large stick insects. Her bathroom has a subtle theme of the ocean, which is pretty common. But instead of starfish and shells, she has a little anglerfish nightlight and a small vampiric squid painting. And then a framed diagram of what apparently is a goblin shark right by the toilet. I would say that a majority of her home decor and furnishings are okay. The apartment itself is very modern and sleek. It's just the random decor and juvenile-ish themes like cartoons, insects, and bizarre ocean creatures is off-putting. This is where I might be the butthole. I avoid bringing people over to her place, especially people from my job, because of how juvenile everything looks. Everyone's impressed when they see the high-rise, but that quickly fades once you enter. The one time I brought a work colleague over, they ended up telling me after that they found her insect wall terrifying. I work in finance, and appearances and first impressions are important. My office will hold casual gatherings where we get together for a few drinks, good food, and we rotate hosts. And this time, it was my turn. The problem is, my place was under some construction, and it wasn't an ideal place to be right now. So I've been staying with my girlfriend. My girlfriend suggested that we host my colleagues here, since she has the space and she thinks it'll be fun. I told her that I planned on skipping my rotation and seeing if the next person would be okay with hosting early. She kept pressing on why I didn't want them over here, so I finally said that it's because her home decor is strange and not something a grown woman should have, and that her insect wall horrified the one colleague who did come over. My girlfriend got mad and said that at the end of the day, it's not my space, and these things bring her joy. She also said that she is indeed an adult woman, which is exactly why her apartment is decorated in such a manner. I love my girlfriend, I do, and it's okay to have different interests. But does an adult really need to decorate with them besides a few things here and there? I mean, my own mother asked me if my girlfriend was autistic after she saw the entire apartment for the first time. So, Reddit, am I the butthole? You know, it's kind of funny that you say that only kids decorate like this, because, typically young kids don't have tarantulas and stick bugs in their house. Actually, that's more of an adult thing. And, OP, the fact that she likes goblin sharks and vampire squids and tarantulas tells me that she has an interest in ugly things, which might give us an indication of why she's dating you. OP, your girlfriend sounds super cool, and you sound super basic and judgmental. I'm giving you 2 out of 5 buttholes, and I'm giving your girlfriend 0 out of 5 buttholes. Am I the butthole for demanding my coworker pay me for a ride to work after many months of giving her a free ride? For the last 14 months, I've been driving one of my coworkers to and from work. She only lives a mile up the road from me and is on the way, so I've never asked her for a dime or accepted when she's offered me money. From my perspective, I'm driving past her house both ways, and her overall household expenses are higher than mine, so it felt like the right thing to do. Over the weekend, my car went to the shop. I told my coworker that I wouldn't be available to give her a ride either Monday or Tuesday. She said that it wasn't a problem because her boyfriend is off this week and would give her a ride. I asked if I could bum a ride as well. I even offered to walk to her house so they wouldn't have to drive backwards. She asked her boyfriend about it, and he said that he would, but he wanted $20 for the 2 days. I know it's just $20, but that set me off. I declined the offer and said that I'd find my own ride. At work yesterday, she asked me about my car. I told her that I'd be getting my car Tuesday night after work, but that going forward, I'd like $30 a week if she wanted to ride with me. She was upset about this and said that her boyfriend had only wanted the money from me because by having me in the car, he was being forced to drive straight home when he picked me up. I pointed out that I've been happy to drive her straight home to help her out for a year and that it probably wouldn't have killed him to show me at least some level of appreciation. Today, she said that she'd no longer be riding with me after talking about it with her boyfriend. She said that she felt disappointed with me for holding his actions against her and that I was being petty. A couple of other coworkers told me throughout the day that her boyfriend's just a butthole and she doesn't really have a say at home. But overall, they agreed with me that he was being a dick. From my perspective, this dude directly benefits from me thanks to his girlfriend not needing a car of her own or spending a dime on travel, and my coworker should have defended me. Do you think that I'm being petty about this? Okay. I think pretty much everyone can agree that the boyfriend who wanted the $20 is being selfish, hypocritical, entitled, whatever. But here's the really subtle, petty butthole behavior in this post. When this woman's boyfriend said, "Yeah, I'll do it, but only for $20, what she should have done was just paid him the $20 out of her own pocket and said that it came from you. Instead, she passed along this information to you, expecting you to pay the $20. Like down in the comments, someone is calling this woman a doormat. No, she is not a doormat. A doormat would have just kept her mouth shut. A doormat would have just paid the $20 herself. Nah, man, she's trying to get money out of you, OP. OP, I am 100% on your side. I'm giving you 0 out of 5 buttholes. I'm giving your coworker and her boyfriend 2 out of 5 buttholes. Also, I'd like to point out that even though technically she's on the way, OP, this is costing you money. The more weight that you put in a car, the more expensive it takes to move that car 1 mile. That's why super big trucks, which are really heavy, have worse gas mileage than small trucks. So yeah, the weight of one random woman isn't going to be that much, but trip after trip, doing this for months at a time, it probably adds up to, hundreds, thousands of dollars in gas. I really don't know. Will I be the butthole for canceling my daughter's 16th birthday party after warning her about it a year ago? For my daughter's 15th birthday, my spouse and I paid for her to take some of her friends out to a restaurant for dinner. During her birthday party, my daughter got into an argument with one of her friends, another 15-year-old girl. Apparently, my daughter was upset that this friend gave her a cheap gift bought from a thrift store. According to her best friend, another 15-year-old girl, who told us what happened, my daughter seemed to like the gift at first and asked the other friend where she bought it from. When the girl admitted that she bought it from a thrift store, that's when my daughter lost it and called her names like cheap, gold digger, and beggar, as well as other classic insults. Now, it's well known that this girl's family is not well off, but I know that she's a sweet girl who did her best to get my daughter a gift from her meager allowance. Later, my spouse and I confronted our daughter about it, and our daughter admitted that she insulted her friend. Our daughter went on to insult her further by saying things like, "This is probably the only way she gets to eat at a restaurant, so she should be grateful and give a decent gift." I don't know where my daughter learned such entitlement, but she did not learn it at home. Even her best friend was uncomfortable by her behavior. We immediately took away all of our daughter's gifts and donated them. We also told her that unless she apologizes to this girl in front of everyone who was present at the party, we will not be sponsoring any more of her birthdays. My daughter never apologized, and over time, the girl drifted apart from the friend group. My daughter's 16th birthday is coming up next month, and she started talking about what kind of party she wants. I reminded her of our promise that we would not fund any more birthday parties until she's apologized for her behavior at her previous party. Her daughter is saying that it's been a year and the girl is no longer her friend anyways. She said that her best friend is getting a sweet 16 party, which is not a thing in my culture. And how will it look if she doesn't get one? We told her that she has 1 month to apologize, but she's not planning to do so because she thinks it will cave. My in-laws are offering to pay for her party, but we've forbidden them from doing that. My daughter and both sets of grandparents are telling us that we're being too harsh and ruining her social life. Will we be the butthole if we don't give her a birthday party this year? No, OP, you will not be the butthole. Please do not give her a birthday party. Unless, of course, she apologizes. One of the most important lessons that a parent can teach their kid, I'm talking like top 5 most important lessons in life, is that actions have consequences. If a kid doesn't learn that lesson from their parents, then they will grow up to be a terrible, awful, toxic human being. Please stick to your guns here, OP. I'm giving you 0 out of 5 buttholes. I'm giving your daughter 2.5 out of 5 buttholes. That was rSlash Am I the Butthole, and if you like this content, check out my podcast where I publish the exact same episodes. Also, hit that subscribe button because I put out new Reddit videos every single day.